I've worked for the IRS, and I have owned my own business, owner-operator of an Avis rent-a-car. So I've had some experiences that are broader than just the ministry piece. I did attend Greenwood High School, graduated in 1975. I was later elected to the school board at Greenwood in 1994, served there, also on the Central 9 governing board, enjoyed that quite a bit as well. I've done other leadership roles in the county, United Way of Johnson County, Leadership Johnson County, and the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce. That's a place where I met Denny French. That's a name that you probably are all still familiar with. Denny was superintendent. And we served on the board together at the chamber. And one time he was explaining about they were getting ready to replace the basketball court. And of course, you know how it is. You go back to the glory days, and I told him, I said, oh, that would be so nice to have a piece of that court. I had one of my best high school games on that floor against, if you remember John Richards, the 7 foot, any of you? Am I that old? Oh, gosh. 7 foot tall player, and he was guarding me, and I scored 17 points. And I said, Denny, if you could get a piece of that floor, I would love that. Sure enough, he did present me with one of those.
Doug, this is your 2 minute. That was your 2 minute warning.
Okay, here goes, last portion. Governance style. I've served on a lot of boards across the years, and one of the things that I do not do is micromanagement style. If that is what this is, just take my name off the list. I've seen it, I can't do it. The style that I believe in is one that's decisions that are related to an organization's mission and vision, and I think Center Grove has done excellent work in developing those. I've driven the school bus here as a sub for 3 years, and everything I do, I try to.
Thank you. Up next, Lydia Brown.
Hi, my name is Lydia Brown. I'm a Center Grove graduate. I attended from kindergarten to 12th grade. I have 3 kids that are now school age. My youngest goes to kindergarten this fall. I also have a daughter with special needs, so I can bring that perspective. I have a degree in accounting and finance with a history of auditing. I have my MBA with a concentration in finance and a CPA license. I do have several family members that are both past and present teachers, so I get their opinions on current issues. And I knew Gary Robinson really well, and I do want to make sure his position gets filled by a good candidate. Thank you.
Thank you. Jane Dunnigan-Smith.
Hi, everyone. I think it goes without saying that the indelible mark that Gary Robinson left on thousands of students and people within this community make him virtually irreplaceable. But I applied for this position because I am a passionate supporter of Center Grove schools, and this gives me another opportunity to give back to the school corporation that has been educating my children for the past 14 years. I have 2 sons, Connor, who graduated in the class of 22, and Quinn, who is a rising senior. Both of them super active in the schools and really have reaped the benefits of Center Grove. Because of my passion, I too have really tried to give back and be active within the Center Grove community. I served on the Center Grove Education Foundation Board for 4 years, and I was president my final year. And during the 22-23 school year, I participated in the CG Ambassadors Program. So I got to learn a lot about the ins and outs of the school corporation, how you strategize, how you develop your planning, and how you do your operations. For the past 5 years, I have been the Center Grove High School boys tennis mom as well. And I just recently became president of the newly formed Southside Community Tennis Association, a nonprofit that provides clinics, lessons, and tournaments for the youth in the area. Despite all that, though, I have never played tennis, so don't ask me to serve a ball. Not going to happen. Professionally, I am the Senior Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer at BioCrossroads. BioCrossroads is a nonprofit organization that promotes the growth of the life sciences sector in Indiana. A key piece of that role is to work on talent and workforce development. So I think you can see that that's really inextricably linked to education within the state. And before that, I worked at Lilly for 19 years because I think pretty much everyone's worked at Lilly at some point in their life. My only agenda really is to just help ensure that the students of this community continue to get the great experiences that my boys have had and continue to have, and that our school system remains strong for the greater community at large. Thank you.
Thank you. Stacy Fitzsimmons.
Good evening. I am Stacy Fitzsimmons, and we moved to the district 10 years ago, and that was actually specifically for the schools. Little background, I grew up in Ohio, and we competed against Center Grove. So if you guys were good enough to beat us, you were a good enough school district. So during our time in the district, I participated in previous redistricting and strategic planning groups as a community member. I've also volunteered in the schools and gotten to know many educators and administrators. My vision for board service is to serve the community as a convener and strategist that considers multiple stakeholders to create data-driven solutions for betterment of our students. To know me is to know that first and foremost, I'm a wife and a mom. I do what it takes to support my family and the growth and well-being of my kids. As a boss in my early career, I had her share her philosophy with me. She said, there are only 3 rules to follow and we'll get along great. Don't mess with my head, don't mess with my money, and don't mess with my family. And I think I've grown to understand that philosophy in many ways. As many say, Mama Bear can be activated, and there's nothing I wouldn't do to protect my family. That said, they also need to learn how to fend for themselves. My Mama Bear instincts have spread through the community to include our extended chosen family and friends. This includes the schools my kids have attended, especially the teachers and staff, and the students I've come to know through classroom and extracurriculars. As a business consultant working with organizations of all shapes and sizes, those organizations with a protective sense of family for those that they work with have solid financial practices and don't play games are those that are successful. As a community convener for many programs, the same philosophy works in community settings where the needs of many stakeholders need to be met. As a potential board member, I see this philosophy
Stacy,
coming
that's
full
two-
circle
that's
to
2 minutes. You
encompass
have
my
30 minutes.
understanding as a mom.
Seconds. You have 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay. Mom, business owner, facilitator for many groups, and a community member. I will be a catalyst for the Center Grove District as a community, creating solutions to issues facing the community with mindfulness that we are here to serve students. Quality education that meets the needs of the students of the district is one of my staunchest beliefs, one that I hope to support with service to my community through a seat on the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right on it.
Charity Flores.
Good evening, board and community. I'm Dr. Charity Flores. I'm a wife, mother of 2 sons that attend Center Grove. I have served in education for my entire career. I started as a classroom teacher in 2001, first teaching for Indianapolis Public Schools and later in Crawfordsville. During my teaching career, I started graduate school, completing my doctorate in educational administration in 2015. While completing graduate school, I also received my building administrator's license and superintendent's license. A majority of my career has been spent with the Indiana Department of Education, over 13 years. My most recent position with the Department of Education was as Chief Academic Officer. There I was responsible for managing 9 different areas, including special education, English learners, assessment, and teaching and learning. I helped support building iLearn in 2019, and my most recent experience allowed me the opportunity to support budgeting and contracts as I authored our strategic work on the science of reading with the Lilly Endowment. The skill sets I offer the board are several-fold, first and foremost being education, as my entire career has been spent as an educator in some way, shape, or form, or supporting their efforts. I started as a classroom teacher, and all of my positions since that time have been rooted in education. Second, as I mentioned, I have significant experience in budgets and contracts, now owning my own business, further supporting schools and corporations as a consultant in curriculum, assessment, and strategic planning. I'm also a policy expert. While serving at the Department of Education,
2-minute
I
warning.
supported authoring state board rule and legislation while managing the implementation as well. And lastly, I'm a servant. I started in education because of my servant's heart. I seek opportunities to apply my expertise and serve my community. I'm dedicated to my faith, my family, and my community. The challenges educators face should not be diminished as they serve as a
Time.
cornerstone fostering the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you. Kara Heikelbeck,
Very good.
did I get that?
You did.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Kara Heikelbeck, and I grew up on a farm in Shelby County, not too far from here, and went to IU, met my husband Brian, and we have 3 beautiful children, and we came, much like Stacy, we came to Center Grove for the schools about 10 years ago. Our boys were in elementary and getting ready to start. They now are 2 in high school, 1 in middle school. My biggest drive for wanting this position is for them and for the experience that we had here at Center Grove. I want future families to experience that. But really, I'm a former educator. I spent 12 years in the classroom, 3 of them here at Center Grove. I was very fortunate to be the e-learning coach at the high school. I've worked in every building, elementary, I was an assistant principal, middle school, classroom teacher, and e-learning coach. High school, I was an e-learning coach and a business teacher. I'm very concerned about the future of education. I am also an adjunct professor at the University of Indianapolis, and this past semester, I witnessed firsthand what I am afraid that our future in education is going to look like. I saw teachers who want so badly to teach children, but they don't feel supported. They need programs. They need the ability. They need to decompress when things are happening in the classroom. And I want to make sure that Center Grove is prepared for what I am seeing in the real world with students not wanting to go into education. What are we going to do when we don't have teachers? All students should be receiving an exceptional education experience, and that takes adults to be in the classroom to do that. What happens if we don't have those adults? I think I have a lot of experience. I am currently still
2
working
minutes.
with schools across the school. I am not in a building anymore, but I have the unique ability to bring what I'm seeing as an adjunct professor, what I'm seeing across our country, and what do I know as a parent in this community. Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jana Hennessy? Oh, that's right. There is a video. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm so sorry that I can't be with you tonight, but my family is vacationing in Mexico and we won't get back until tomorrow night. I did want to take a chance to just introduce myself and tell you a little bit about me. My name is Jana Hennessy and I've been a resident of Center Grove since 2006. I live in Eagle Trace with my husband Chad. We've been married 23 years. He's a veterinarian in Franklin. And we have 3 kids. Our oldest Griffin is a 2023 CG grad, and he's currently a pre-med major at Xavier University. And then our middle is Cooper. He's a rising junior at the high school, involved in all things band. and my youngest, Gabby, is going to be a rising 8th grader at Middle School North. I graduated summa cum laude with a degree in elementary education from Bradley University, but I've been a stay-at-home parent since my oldest son was born almost 20 years ago. Because of this, I've always been really lucky to be able to be involved in their schools and activities. I've been a room parent for many years. I was the team manager for my son's travel soccer team for 7 years. I was the president of the Center Grove High School Parent Club for cross country for 3, and I was the book fair chair at Sugar Grove for 4 years, which was probably my favorite thing that I've done to volunteer. And I just have really loved being involved, getting to know all the teachers and staff and administrators at all the schools that they've been in. In recent years, I've gotten involved in a little more big picture way. 2 years ago, I joined the board of the Center Grove Education Foundation, and I've loved helping to raise funds for our teachers and students. My favorite part is surprising the teachers and staff with the grants that they've won. It's the absolute best part of the job. And last year I participated in the Ambassadors Program and got a more in-depth look at the district. And it was really neat to see not only our many successes, but also to see issues that we're dealing with as well. And then also this last year, I was invited to participate in the district's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force, which was very rewarding. It was really neat to gain knowledge about all the shifting demographics of the students in our district and help to come up with ways that all of our students can have the most exceptional educational experience. I would love to be a member of the board because while I feel that the state of our district is very
Mrs.
strong,
Howard, that's
I
time.
also believe that there are challenges that we have to work through.
Mike Hoffman?
Madam President, school board members, superintendent, for those of you that don't recognize me this evening, I'm still Mike Hoffman. I moved to Center Grove after graduating from IU back in '94. I've been involved in the community since '95. I'm on my 29th, started almost 30 years at Whiteford Township Fire Department. I've had 4 kids that I've raised in Center Grove, just south of the school here. They've all graduated now. Center Grove did just an incredible job of preparing the 4 kids that I have to go on with life. Where they've gone is just amazing, especially my oldest, who is in clinicals now and is about to graduate from the Royal Veterinary Academy in London, England, and come back here as a large animal vet. So, I retired last year from my career, and that gives me time to be on a board like the school board. I'm currently the community liaison for the Whiteford Township Fire Department. In that position, I work with all the local fire departments, the Sheriff's Department, Center Grove Police, other police departments in the county. I attend all the county commissioners' meetings. I attend all the county council meetings. And I work with projects on them, with them on project. I also attend, as you know, most of the school board meetings. I'm on the Johnson County Emergency Medical Task Force. I have a great amount of training, unfortunately, and have gone to classes all over the country in active shooter. And I've participated in a tremendous amount of drills on active shooter, as well as one we just had at Maple Grove last month. I'm also a certified advanced school safety specialist. I'm not an educator, but I spent my business career and I did a lot of teaching adults in different types of settings. The strength I believe I bring to the school board is I'm very involved in government budgeting. I understand the dilemma of being able to build projects, to do buildings, to add on to things. I also understand that it is so very hard to hire staff and pay them properly, especially teachers. We have the same issue in the fire department. I can build firehouses all day long. I buy all the fire trucks and all the ambulances, have no problem with it. It took me just over 6 years to get us a career department. In that time, we saved over $17 million to be able to do that. I'm very familiar with what's happening with the TIF districts and how it affects you guys. I'm very good at zero budgeting and have a lot of experience at it, and I work with the community in a lot of different areas. And I'm about out of time, so thank you.
Thank you. And Scott Horvath is another video.
So greetings and my apologies for not being able to be present. I'm honored to be considered, but unfortunately I'm on a business trip until the 11th. However, I do truly appreciate the opportunity to share this short introduction with you. My name is Scott Horvath, and I'm a 1989 graduate of Center Grove, and as well as a lifelong resident of the Center Grove area. My wife April and I, we've got 3 children, one of whom is a recent graduate of the school and will be attending Indiana University in the fall. We've got 2 other children, one of whom is an incoming junior and the other an incoming freshman. Currently, myself, I'm the owner of and manager of our family business, O'Malley's Living. O'Malley's is a retail showroom of fireplaces, furniture, and grills alongside design, build, installation, and services. So, in considering how my current position aligns with this interest on the school board, the role affords me flexibility to be present. And while I may not pull this off probably brilliantly, I'm a business owner making payroll. And what I mean by this is I make my own decisions. I'm a very deliberate and focused individual, and I know what resources to pull off in order to make the right decisions. So, however, the key to what I hope to share is my nearly 15 years at Ivy Tech. So I'm a workforce development advocate. I understand and I believe that paths exist for young minds to explore beyond extended formal education. And I've been involved in apprenticeships and other pragmatic learning opportunities for students. So I truly believe that this will be my strength. To close, we're getting close to time. I've been a Rotarian for 20 years. Service above self.
Mrs. Howard, that's time.
I believe Shailene Jones was not able to join us, but I just want to make sure that that's correct. Okay. Don Lyon.
Hello, I'm Dr. Lyon, a clinical professor at Indiana University School of Optometry, and have been engaged in education for the last 25 years. While I did not attend Center Grove, my wife, Catherine Fletcher Lyon, graduated from Center Grove, and for the sake of my marriage, let's just say a few years ago. Our son, John, graduated in 2023. Growing up in a small town in Indiana as a teacher's son, I saw aspects of the school system that most weren't aware of. I saw how the administration, the teachers, the school nurses, the other resource teachers work together, not to better themselves or enrich themselves, but to work with and enrich the community and the students that they serve. You see, in Attica, the education was appropriate but basic. I did not have an idea what was truly possible until our son rose through the Center Grove education system. And I've been greatly impressed with what our students here receive. We need to continue providing high-quality education that prepares the students for what they want to accomplish once they graduate, whether college, military, trade school, the arts, or going straight into the workforce. Every student has a dream, and the role of the education system is to provide them with the appropriate resources to reach their dreams. As a school board member, I will aim to ensure that the needs of our students come first. And secondly, I will engage with the community and the leaders, for I believe that we cannot have a strong community without an equally strong education system. and everyone in the community has that responsibility to ensure that our system is not just great, but is excellent. With my personal and professional experience, I believe I am well qualified to be a school board member. I'm committed to listening, to learning, and to make informed decisions that will serve the best needs of our students in this district. Finally, and in closing, it would be my humble honor to serve on the board. Thank you both.
Thank you. April McCracken?
Good evening. I'm April McCracken. I am a 1986 Center Grove graduate. I went to IU then and graduated from the business school there. As a profession, I was in human resources for about 6 years before I helped my husband start his small business and then stayed home to raise our 4 kids who have all attended Center Grove. 3 have already graduated, and I have 1 who will be a junior this next year. As a part of the Center Grove community, I've worn quite a few hats. Room mom, team mom, substitute teacher, PTO member, and all kinds of academics and athletic activities. But I have a passion about helping our next generation succeed and keeping Center Grove's excellent reputation. I shared that passion with Gary, and I'm so sad that we are in the position of having to fill that huge hole that he leaves. He and I had met several times over the last couple years discussing different things and different issues that we were facing as a school, and we were very like-minded in our thoughts and our concerns for our kids and school district, and I knew he'd be disappointed if I didn't submit my name as someone who would be willing to fill his term. I believe parents and schools should be partners in educating our kids. I have had that with most of the teachers that I have had. I've loved most of them. And so I have made it a priority to attend board meetings. I went to the last public work session. I didn't even realize we could do that, and I appreciated being there, as well as volunteering in the school buildings. I know how much that you all impact, the impact that you all have on our community as a school board. So many people, just like Stacy and Kara said, use CG schools as a selling point. When they're trying to sell their properties, they say, hey, we're Center Grove schools, and we need to keep that positive view. I believe as the school goes, so goes the community. I've been very encouraged to this point of the direction that you all have taken our school district, and if selected, I'd be happy and honored to work with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine Minor-Reed.
Hello, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Catherine Reed. I have fulfilled various roles personally and professionally within this community. Personally, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and for the last 4 years, I've been a small business owner. Professionally, I've been a teacher, an advocate, and a coach. I was motivated to apply for this position because I care deeply about Center Grove, its schools, and its families. As a former Center Grove teacher, I understand the dedication it takes to make sure that each one of our students feel loved and safe at school. As a parent to 4 children in CG schools, I know that my children's success is directly related to the school's success. And if I can, in any way, help the school, help my children be successful, I want to do that. Our community was hit hard by Gary's passing. He was a true champion for Center Grove. Like him, I will continue to rally for our community, teachers, and students. I've been a proud Trojan since 5th grade. It is here that my passion for learning and my desire to be a teacher developed. I pursued a bachelor's degree in education from Indiana University. In 2008, I accepted a full-time job as a special education teacher. I worked at North Grove, Pleasant Grove, and Middle School Central throughout the next 10 years. I was involved in various committees and ECAs. As a teacher, creating inclusive environments and modeling acceptance is something I took great pride in. If appointed, I vow to work cooperatively to support and implement fiscal strategies that are effective at improving student achievement and attracting talented teachers. I fiercely support public education. I will always vote in favor of student safety, efficient policies, and putting our children first. I feel my best quality is my ability to unite people and my ability to make people feel cared for, appreciated, and welcomed. When our intentions are true and our passion and desire motivate us to make change are real, nothing is impossible, and that's why I'm here tonight. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for considering me for this role. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Adam Norman.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name's Adam Norman. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm really excited to see how many people came out to submit their nomination. This is a great sign of our strong community. I'm a lifelong Center Grove resident. My wife graduated from Center Grove. I graduated from Center Grove. I have 4 kids. 2 graduate from Center Grove, and 2 are going to be a sophomore and junior. I can attest to the strength of our schools when they've gone to colleges, the older 2, and seeing the difference in preparation of my kids in colleges compared to other kids in colleges and what they've said. So this is a terrific community and a terrific school corporation. I am an attorney. I am the head of one of the largest state programs in the state of Indiana, which is child support. I deal with about 300 elected officials in the state of Indiana on a regular basis. I manage a $200 million budget with about 1,200 employees. And I deal with the federal government, the state government, the local government to manage and reconcile multiple differences of opinion and sometimes competing and contradictory policies and different perspectives. I served on the school board here from 2013 to 2018 when I saw that the nominations were coming out. I thought 2 things. 3 things really. 1, my whole career is in public service, and this is something that I love to do. I love this community. 2, Mr. Robinson was my teacher, my mentor, and I really thought that this is something that could help out with our community to fill in, not until his term is over. And 3, I thought continuity, and I know the job, people know me here, and I could just help us get back to business that we need to get back to. That's really my motivation to do it. And also continue the strong the strong focus on students here. And I don't think people see that sometimes here, but there really is a strong focus on students here, and that's why I'm going to continue, and also to help the voice of the community be heard as well. So thanks a lot for this opportunity. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Michael Overpeck?
Good evening. My name is Michael Overpeck, and my family and I greatly appreciate this community, this school system, and this opportunity. I applied for the Board of School Trustees because I want to help cultivate and refine the excellence that we currently enjoy here at Center Grove in academia, arts, and athletics. All of these aspects can and should be improved. In my vested interest and professional career have granted me the skill sets to build upon our solid foundation. 2 of my children will be attending CGES this fall, and my 3rd child will join them in a few years. My wife is an active leader in the PTO, and I have participated in many school-sponsored volunteer events and joined classroom settings as a parent volunteer. Moreover, I've coached 1st grade girls basketball, boys baseball, and will coach football in this fall. My family and I are engaged in the schools and in the extracurricular activities. Professionally, I'm a sales manager for a multi-billion-dollar automotive supplier with responsibility for $87 million in annual budget and P&L. And prior to recent M&A activities, that figure was $452 million. I have C-suite level communication, matured experience in contract development and commercial negotiations, and a passion for customer service. I know how to effectively operate and lead within large organizations. Place me on this board, and we can work together to make Center Grove a brighter beacon of success for all our students, parents, teachers, and leaders. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg Pryor? Benjamin Roberts. Thank you. Harold Sisson? Did I get that one right? Probably not. If you heard my maiden name, then you would understand. It was Plegaman. It was terrible in school. It was horrible.
Sisson's fine. Hi, I'm Harold. My family and I moved to Center Grove in 1995, specifically so that we could enroll our daughter, Libby, in first grade. My wife is a retired physical therapist, and I am a retired IT professional, having served in many recognizable companies around central Indiana, St. Francis Hospital, PNC Bank, Marsh Supermarkets, Conseco, and a number of others as an IT professional for many years. When we decided to enroll Libby at Center Grove, we owe much of credit to Center Grove School Systems for her success. She's now completed all of her postgraduate work, her Indiana University School of Medicine accomplishments, residency, and now she's a board-certified physician. Yay. Coming to Johnson County, which is even better for us. When we enrolled her, I made a personal commitment as a dad to be involved and present in her day and throughout all of her educational experiences. And that involved being everything inside and outside of the classroom, including volunteering inside the classroom of our first grade teacher, Mrs. Kovacs, up through and including serving as Center Grove's band organization, marching band organization through her senior year. Throughout the middle times during those years, I also was honored to serve on Center Grove's Building Facilities Committee for a number of years, especially during the time when we were looking at building Maple Grove Elementary School and acquiring all the land necessary to do that. I was also honored to serve on the Center Grove Building Corporation as well, where we provided the final signatures, so to speak, and the authorization for the bond financing for that construction activity to occur. I think what I'd like to say most about why I'm interested in being on the board is with my past IT experience, I was a hiring manager for people US-based and based in India. And I saw firsthand the kinds of skills in education candidates need to be successful in life. And I'd be honored to fulfill Gary's remainder of his term if you will consider me for that opportunity. Thanks again this evening.
Thank you. Angie T.
Hi, my name is Angie Teed, and I have several qualifications that would make me a good fit for the board. First of all, I'm a lifelong Center Grove resident, so I know the community well. Secondly, I am a licensed teacher with experience in Center Grove schools. I actually student taught at Pleasant Grove. I taught 7th grade science for 4 years at Middle School North, and then I worked in the technology department with professional development until 2019. During that time, I actually met with every teacher in the district in every classroom to help them plan for their multimedia classroom installs. I also organized a few professional development days for all Center Grove teachers. So I understand the needs of teachers, and I am also a familiar face to many current teachers and administrators here. Finally, my husband Brian and I have 4 children in Center Grove schools. Louie and Maggie will both be at Center Grove High School this year, and Caroline and James will both be at Walnut Grove. They have also attended Maple Grove and Middle School Central, and I've always been very involved in all their schools. Last year, I was the PTO president at both Middle School Central and Walnut Grove, and I've often volunteered in their classrooms. So I believe I can bring a classroom perspective to the board. I have also been involved in their many activities in the community: tennis, golf, baseball, softball, basketball, and more. So I understand Center Grove extracurriculars, and I know many Center Grove parents. The main reason I wish to be on the board is to make students the priority in all decisions. Administrators, teachers, parents in the community should all be considered, but students and what's happening in our classrooms should be at the forefront. I would consider it an honor to fill Gary Robinson's position because he was a mentor to me. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Teresa West?
I know. I'm waiting to hear Whitaker.
Okay, also known as Terry West. It threw them for a loop, but I use my legal name sometimes. You know, to try to condense so many years into 2 minutes, I'm going to try very hard because some of you know me, some of you do not. I am a lifetime resident of White River Township, except for those few years I moved to Ohio after I got married and came back, graduated from Center Grove, went all through school at Center Grove. Know many of you from being in school with you or having your kids or having your grandkids. And it's just been an experience that I can't really put words to, because when I retired, they tell you that when you retire, you'll know. It was bittersweet because I had to retire to take care of my mother because my dad had just passed. So my retirement was a bit sudden to me. But when I did retire, I looked back at my years and I thought, wow, what a ride. Because it was one of the best experiences. I retired on a high note. The group that I had was excellent that year. They took care of me, actually. They took care of me through my dad's death and just like family. But with that, it made me realize that we really are a strong community. We are a strong public school system. I'm a staunch public school supporter. I want what's best for the kids. I want what's best for all the kids. And I know being on the school board, it's tough. It's a challenging thing. There are things you have to deal with that are not pleasant. There are celebrations you get to take part in or to have a decision in the making of it. But you're kind of at the mercy of Indiana legislation as far as education, health mandates. It's hard. So hats off to all of you for dealing with it and continuing to deal with it. And the kind of the humorous part is Gary Robinson and I used to be on stage at these awards programs for years. I went to school with Gary, good friend. And he would kiddingly say, when we retire, we're going to run for school board. And I would just kind of laugh and go, sure. But I was very active as a teachers association. I was one of the presidents of the teachers associations. So my outside of the classroom involvement was that. But I saw Gary the night before he passed. And his last words to me said, don't forget paperwork to do if you're going to do this. And then I get word the next day. And I thought, this planted a seed for me. And I thought, I want to do this. I have the experience.
Time.
Thank you. I didn't know I could talk that fast.
Thank you. Lindsay Williams.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Williams. Sorry, that's extra loud. I've lived in Center Grove for about 6 years now. My main reason for moving here was for my two sons for the education system. I have a 10-year-old son who's currently in Center Grove Central. I am also an attorney. I started my own family law practice here in Greenwood as well. So with that, obviously, if you know anything about family law, it's a highly contested area of law, lots of emotion. So I think one of my skill sets is just taking out the emotion when it comes to problem solving. That's one thing I've really learned over the last couple of years. And that's an asset that I feel like I could bring to the board, is just hearing two sides of an issue and kind of boiling it down to a workable solution for, both parties. And the reason for really wanting to join the school board is my passion for education. I really have a passion for everybody in our community being able to obtain a solid education and just, the opportunity that will provide for them being able to pursue their dreams. And also, I'm excited to learn from the board. You guys already know a lot of issues and how to handle those, and just if I was elected to come on board, I would be excited to learn from your expertise. And just every system has its issues, so we have an excellent reputation, but also the problems that do come up, how do we handle those and work towards maintaining that strong reputation that we already have. I was raised in a construction family where my dad ran his own foundation company. The values that I was raised with were put your nose down, work hard, don't really, promote your ego and all those things. That's why this is a little bit awkward for me to do. But anyway, just loving your community, serving your community, that's what I'm all about. That's why I started my business, and that's what I would definitely work hard to achieve in our community. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Robbie Williams. The next one is a video for Nathan Williamson.
Restart it. Yeah, but if I restart it, it starts people hearing it. Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying,
Try again.
start it over because nobody can hear it.
Are you starting your time over, Mr. Russell?
Let's just make sure the audio
We got
works
it.
first.
Yeah.
Hello, thank you for this opportunity to share in this way. My name's Nathan Williamson. I wish I could be there tonight, but I'll be on an airplane during the time of the meeting, but wish you the best in your search. I'm sure that there's a lot of great people in the room tonight, and you'll have a plethora of choice. But I wanted to share with you the reasons why I felt called to put my name in, and why I felt like that those were the right reasons. And so that you can hear directly from me on it. So the first one is, I think Center Grove is an excellent school community. My approach is I want to be a small part of continuing that excellence. We've lived here for a long time. Our children have graduated from Center Grove, and then we have current and future students as well. And so I would join the board as that approach of seeking to continue excellence, seeking to listen, seeking to understand rather than seeking to change. I think we can always improve, but we really want to just continue to build upon the great things that we're already doing. Secondly, Gary Robinson, I want to honor the role that he played on the board. I think he had a vital lens of having a former educator lens, and I bring that as well, although I don't have the valued 4-decade experience that Gary had. I was a Maple Grove teacher. I was a Center Grove Elementary School Teacher of the Year. I was a high school softball coach, and so definitely will bring that lens that I think is an important voice on the board. And as I continued on in my educational career with other roles, including a central office chief business officer for a school district, a director at the Department of Ed, I know what it's like on the other side to be a school staff member who has to work closely with a school board, and what supported me and what didn't. And so I will take, my background and experience of knowing what I felt like did work, which is setting policy, but hiring good people and let them do the work that they were hired to do. And then lastly, kids first. I think we should all be here with that kid first mindset and what's best for children. And I think to do that, you have to quickly focus on what is also very good for teachers. And I think if we serve our teachers well, they're going to serve our children well, and we'll get the outcomes that we're attempting to realize.
Mrs.
So
Howard, that's
I
time.
appreciate the time. Wish you the best in your meeting and in your service.
Great. Okay, that actually, I believe, was our last one. Barbara Yates is not in attendance, correct? Okay. I do want to say that we are going to reconvene in our executive session after this meeting. We will, first of all, I want to say thank you for everybody coming, because I know how hard that was to get up. I went through it myself, so, and not being a public speaker, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen me up here struggling at times, but I know how hard that is to get up in front of a group of people and give your why. So I appreciate all of you, and thank you for coming. Our next meeting is July 15th. We'll have a special board meeting at 6, and then we will then reconvene in an executive session afterwards. And everybody will be notified that will need to show up for that next round. So does anybody have anything?
I just want to reiterate, thank you, everyone. Gary was an icon in our community, and we know we're not going to replace Gary, but we were very happy to see 25 candidates, and it's going to be really hard. All of you showing up and doing what you've done here tonight, it's going to help us through our process. When we saw so many, we said, well, we need to see them. We need to hear from them, not just see what they wrote. So thank you very much, and now you've put a very, very hard task on us.
Yeah.
To try to first nail this down to an interview list and then pick one from there. But thank you all of you for your interest.
I can't follow that.
I can't talk much about Gary because it gets passionate. Grew up together, and he just had reconnected with him when he came on board and had some fun parking lot conversations about remembering the old times, and couldn't believe we are where we are at. So definitely, he's missed. Board members, you have ISBA, the spring regional meetings booklet there, and inside of it, you will have some paperwork that is a little dated. This is when my dad and my brother were on the facility study group that helped get the high school like you see it now, as far as the building onto it. It has some interesting things. One of the things that I really liked was the 21st century education goals. We're always trying to figure out what that is. And clear back in the late 80s, 90s era, they came up with some pretty good descriptions of what that was. And then the other paper is a lot of where the school was at and what their goals and things. And reading through it, you'll think to yourself, I hope anyway, we've accomplished that. You know, the boards before us, what's going on, the teachers before us. We have accomplished that. So this school has a good legacy, and I hope we can honor that. That's all.
Okay, I will go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Thank you.